Breaking news! A major shift is unfolding in Baltimore, and it has nothing to do with the usual suspects. Tonight's preseason opener might look routine on the surface, but behind the scenes, careers are hanging in the balance, hidden stars are ready to explode, and one major decision could send shockwaves through the entire roster. Something unexpected is brewing at M/T Bank Stadium, and Ravens fans won't want to miss a second of it. But before we move on, make sure you hit that like button if you're a true Ravens fan. It's always amazing to see fans of all ages supporting this team. And if you feel like it, comment, "Go Ravens," down below to show you're riding with the flock this season. Let's get right into it. Tonight, the Ravens square off against the Colts in their preseason opener at M/T Bank Stadium. And while many fans might be hoping to see Lamar Jackson lighting up the field or Derrick Henry bulldozing defenders, don't hold your breath. The Ravens are playing it smart and safe. The game plan is crystal clear. Do not risk your top-tier starters in a preseason match that, frankly, will be forgotten in a month. The coaching staff knows exactly what they have in their stars. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, and DeAndre Hopkins won't be suiting up for anything more than possibly a cameo, if that. The Ravens are focused on what really matters, evaluating depth, building chemistry, and letting the next generation of playmakers shine. And that brings us to the real excitement, the young guns. First-round pick Malaki Starks and second-round edge rusher Mike Green are stepping into the spotlight. With Darius Washington sidelined due to an Achilles injury, Starks is not just a rookie looking for snaps. He's been thrust into a starting role. All eyes will be on his command of the defense, how well he understands Zach Orr's system, and how confidently he moves within his responsibilities. Starks doesn't need to be flashy, he needs to be solid. He needs to look like he belongs. Now, Mike Green, that's another story. This is the guy Ravens fans should expect to pop on screen. Playing off the edge against backup offensive tackles? That's Green's stage to dominate. Coaches and fans alike want to see him winning those one-on-one matchups consistently. The bar is set higher for Green, not just to play well, but to flash dominance. And if he does, Baltimore might just have its next premier edge threat ready to explode in 2025. Then there's the Thunder and Lightning duo in the backfield, Derrick Henry and Keaton Mitchell. While Henry is likely in bubble wrap until the real games begin, Keaton Mitchell is set to remind everyone exactly who he is. After a blazing start to his rookie year in 2023, averaging a league-leading 8.4 yards per carry, his season was derailed by a devastating ACL injury. And last year, the Ravens may have brought him back too soon. But now, the reports are coming in hot. Mitchell is back to full speed. He dominated Sunday's open practice at M/T Bank Stadium, looking every bit like the dynamic weapon fans fell in love with. If you're watching tonight's game, pay close attention when Mitchell touches the ball. It might only take one carry to ignite the crowd. And while Mitchell is making his comeback, the linebacker battle brewing between Trenton Simpson and Teddy Buchanan is another headline you can't ignore. Simpson, expected to start in week 1 of the regular season, is being watched closely for signs of growth after a rocky 2024 campaign that saw him barely sniff the field late in the season. Tonight will be about proving that he's taken a step forward, that he's earned the trust of the coaching staff. On the flip side, Buchanan is the wild card, not likely to start immediately, but with a skill set that screams upside, he's got a real shot to impress. His tackling, his range, and his playmaking instincts could earn him more than just backup snaps by the end of the preseason. Now here's where things get even more intriguing. The battle between wide receivers Dayton Wade and Kadir Wester. These guys aren't just fighting for playing time, they're fighting for their NFL lives. With nearly identical skill sets, both small, shifty, electric returners, only one of them is likely to make the 53-man roster. Wade was the preseason darling in 2024, constantly making plays and turning heads. But Wester has flashed in camp, too. The difference could come down to who makes the most of their opportunities tonight. One explosive return or clutch reception could swing the balance. And let's not forget about Tyler Loop. The kicker is quietly stacking one good day after another. 7 for 7 in Sunday's stadium practice. Nailed a 60-yard bomb. Then followed that with a strong showing in Tuesday's joint practice with the Colts. No one's asking Loop to be Justin Tucker, but they are asking him to be reliable, especially when the game's on the line. That consistency? It's exactly what the Ravens need from their new specialist. As we head into the continuation of this Ravens-Colts preseason breakdown, let's shift the spotlight just a bit. Because while rookies like Malaki Starks and Mike Green are drawing headlines, there's a much deeper layer of development going on, one that could determine how this Ravens team performs not just in September, but deep into January. One of the most underrated storylines heading into tonight's matchup is Trenton Simpson's redemption arc. Last season ended with an unmistakable message from the coaching staff. They didn't trust him. 0 snaps in the playoffs, barely on the field in weeks 15 and 16. 2016. For a player once considered a key building block at inside linebacker, it was a steep fall. And now, the spotlight's burning hot. Simpson knows he's likely going to start week 1, but that starting nod comes with immense pressure. He has to prove he belongs. He has to erase the doubts, show his improved instincts, faster reads, stronger tackling angles. Tonight might just be preseason, but for Trenton Simpson, it's more than that. It's a shot at reclaiming his trajectory. Now compare that to Teddy Buchanan, who comes into the picture with little pressure but high upside. There's a different energy to watching a player who has nothing to lose. Buchanan might not win the job this summer, but the way he flashes in these games will give the Ravens an idea of just how much they can trust him in critical moments later in the season. His tackling, his coverage instincts, his ability to diagnose plays in real time, those are things we'll be watching closely. Simpson has more to prove. Buchanan has more to gain, and this battle might stretch all the way through the preseason. Moving back to the offensive side of the ball, where things are heating up just as much, we have to talk more about the wide receiver showdown between Wester and Wade. This isn't just a battle of skill, it's a battle of impact. Dayton Wade might have the upper hand based on last year's preseason heroics, but Kadir Wester has flashed with more frequency in camp. The issue? Inconsistency. For every highlight, there's been a drop, but if Wester can put it all together tonight, especially on special teams, he may tip the scales in his favor. That return game value is going to weigh heavily in these decisions. When you're the WR5 or WR6 on an NFL roster, your ability to flip field position might matter more than your route running tree. And while we're talking about the margins, we can't overlook Tyler Loop. The kicker has been near perfect during open practices, and that builds confidence. A 60-yard field goal in front of fans is no joke, but now he has to do it under the lights, against an opposing team, with the clock ticking and teammates watching. Preseason or not, that pressure simulates real game intensity. Loop isn't just fighting for a roster spot, he's fighting for the locker room's trust. And tonight, every kick will matter. But here's what really ties all of this together. The Ravens aren't using this preseason to figure things out. They're using it to sharpen the edges of a team they already believe can contend. There's no mystery about what this team is chasing in 2025. The additions of Derrick Henry and DeAndre Hopkins weren't just splashy offseason moves. They were messages. Messages that the Ravens are all in. That they believe the Super Bowl window is wide open right now. And that means every single depth decision, every roster cut, every snap of preseason football carries more weight than ever. If you're watching tonight's game thinking it doesn't matter, think again. These are the moments where legends begin. Where underdogs fight for their dreams. Where we find out who the next Geno Stone or Isaiah likely might be. This is where depth is built, where locker room culture is reinforced, and where the players who will matter in December take their first real steps. So the real question becomes, who's going to seize the moment? If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Drop a like if you're fired up for tonight's game, and check out the video on the screen right now for more in-depth Ravens analysis. And of course, comment below, who are you watching most closely tonight? I want to hear your thoughts. Go Ravens!